violence against women. So stay with us as we go on a short break quickly, and we'll be back with the headlines across the globe. All right, welcome back from the break. This is still Ways Breakfast, hashtag what are you saying? And right about now, we'll look through the headlines across the Nigerian newspaper, starting with The Punch. The major headline reads, Borno flood, 1 million persons affected, 414,000 displaced, and death toll hits 30, victim sleeps on streets, NEMA opens 9 IDP camps, and Bayelsa flooded after downpour. Student loan beneficiaries lament delayed allowance. Hunger protesters gets 100 million bail barred from further demonstrations. Federal government to register untitled lands. And marketers, refiners demand total subsidy removal. Mpox outbreak spreads to 23 states. How governor spends $50 billion excess crude funds, says NESG. The Punch newspaper has a lot of interesting stories this morning. I mean, I think the one below the major headlines seems to really catch my attention, apart from the flood stories, which we took a bit of the details yesterday. So I'm seeing the student loan beneficiaries, they're lamenting about the delayed allowances. And I'm seeing another story, hunger protesters get 100 million bail. And they are barred from further demonstration. It's okay to bar them from further demonstration. I don't know why they were jailed from the very beginning.
Treason.
Okay, they treason.
Treason, according to
people
them.
that are protesting for hunger, you're bailing them for 100 million.
I saw a news yesterday. I don't know which is more accurate. They said 10 million.
10
but
million?
a shorty in Abuja, someone that has property in Abuja, and you submit your passport.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
this is 100 million that was seen from the Punch paper. The other story I want to take quickly is the student loan beneficiaries. They are lamenting delayed allowances. So it says the scheme across the country have lamented the delay in the payment of the August monthly stipend. And some of the students in separate interviews, expressed their disappointment in the payments, the delay. A total of 20,371 students from 6 tertiary institutions were said to have been paid a sum of 20,000 naira each as July stipends. And one BUK student who spoke to a correspondent said, "We haven't received this August stipend. I'm very confused. Please help us speak to them. The economy is getting difficult. In fact, we're trying to even plead with them to help us increase the stipend, as the 20,000 naira can't even get us anywhere." And I even heard some more stories that this stipend doesn't directly come to the student. It goes through the institution. So you can imagine the bureaucracy and protocols before 20,000 would even get to you, and now it's being delayed. That's the story I have on the Punch paper.
20,000 naira cannot pay school fee.
It cannot.
Maybe departmental fee.
Can't even pay some
faculty
departmental fees at
level.
this point. University of Ibadan increased their school fees to
Yeah.
over 100,000 plus. So what's 20,000 going to do?
Wait, let me get it. The entire student loan scheme disbursed 20,000 naira stipend. Is it monthly for 6 months or just a one-off 20,000 naira?
I think it's monthly because July stipend was given to them. So the lament now is about the August stipend that was
okay, so
delayed.
which means every month they'll be collecting 20,000 naira stipend.
I
Then
think
it should be paid to their account, because they obviously can't use 20,000 naira to do school runnings. Maybe you can take care, or maybe buy a pack of Spark. No, you can't buy a pack of Spark. Buy half or 10 pieces of noodles, buy small 2 liters of groundnut oil, palm oil.
I don't
here
think the
and
student
there.
loan is supposed to cover for all of that.
But it
It's for
cannot
school
cover for
fee.
school fee.
Maybe if you calculate everything together at the end of the year,
So we're
Is
not
it
paying
not
to
better that it's
yourself.
be probably converted to probably a scholarship kind of thing than having to give them money?
20K every month. So your boss and I say, okay, out of 100K, you pay 20K. Abola and Tomisope, 20K paid. I don't get it.
Interesting.
Oh my
Let's see what the
Lord.
Guardian paper
The
has.
Guardian newspaper has the major headline reading 39 dams, moribunds over poor maintenance, obsolete equipment. And of course, there's this use of animation and description. It says 75% of the dams in the country were constructed for domestic and industrial water supply. 33% for irrigation and water storage, 29% for fisheries, 16% for recreation, and 4% for hydroelectricity. And then there's this further breakdown of power generation in Nigeria. Away from that, WHO declares Mpox outbreak a global health emergency. 18 dies in 3 road crashes along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Government begins implementation of zero duty on selected food items. Protest was sitting on a time bomb, Sule terms with northern governors. Away from that, party disowns Ebisheni as Labour Party Guber candidate in Ondo State. Yusuf visits vandalized Kano High Court. Says sensitive document on Ganduje has been stolen. We can no longer afford further hikes in interest rates. Manufacturers warn, this is coming from the CBN governor, manufacturers to the CBN governor. And a final story reads, pressure mounts on Tinubu's to sack oil sector chiefs. And that's it on the details on the page of the Guardian newspaper. And I'd like to straightly talk on the zero duty on selected food items. It was in the news a while ago that some selected food items like maize, corn, millets, and a couple of food that are not really eaten. They are really eating, but not like direct eating. They are processed to other food, like maize to pap.
And it's more from the northern area
more from the
than
northern
from the
area.
south
So
and
from
east.
now on, they will start implementing the zero import duty. So which means wherever they're importing a food from, zero import duties. But would also appreciate if we can extend to the likes of yam, even if it's yam.
That is
alone,
generally, you know,
that's generally
eaten
eaten
or consumed.
or consumed, not like 30% consumption in Nigeria. Yes, we understand 30% are also important people, but then like yam, because the price of yam right now is over the roof.
Yeah.
So like yam, or maybe even pepper, but pepper has really reduced, especially tomatoes. It has reduced. Yeah, it has. And that's it.
All right, so let me quickly take you through the New York Times newspaper. Let's quickly leave, you know, African newspaper and go over to the international. All right, so by the last side of the newspaper, we have Trump embraces tariff as a cure for wider needs. Claim are expanding. Trade experts say pitfall outweigh the benefit of most Americans. Next to that, health threat found at plant 2 years ago. By the right side, we have guns made home for Mitilish and the masses. Next to that, Israeli air raids hit Gaza refuge. Officials report 19 killed in humanitarian zone. Bottom of the newspaper, he is an anti-trafficking hero. Women share a different story. Next to that, which is the last headline on the newspaper, has voice that resonated from stage to Star Wars. So the headline I want to quickly touch on is something we've actually been talking about over time, right? So this is Trump embraced tariff as a cure for wider needs. Claims are expanding. Trade experts say pitfall outweighs the benefits to most Americans. Now, former President Trump believes taxes on imported goods are a solution to many problems. He argues that they protect American jobs, boost the economy, and pressure other countries to cooperate with the United States. For example, he used tariff to negotiate with Mexico and China while in office, right? However, experts say that while tariff can generate some money for the government, they often lead to higher prices for American consumers and businesses. Additionally, foreign countries might retaliate with their own tariffs, which could hurt the United States economy more than help. Essentially, while Trump sees tariff as a fix-all, many economists believe they do more harm than good. And I'm actually going with the experts on this one because, I mean, I understand what Trump is saying, because if China's are bringing in goods and we're taking it down to the American and we are selling it at a very considerable price, right? A price that even an average American citizen can actually get, it would help the economy and it will help them as well. But if you're bringing, let's just for example, if you're bringing this cup from China down to America, and probably the price they give to you from China is $150, right? Probably $150 or something, and you bring it to America and you're selling it for probably $300. I feel like before you put a price a particular thing, you look at how the economy is in the US. Do you get? Is this something that an average American can purchase without having to use too much money on it, or without having to cut down some things in order for them to get it? Now you look at the economy before you start adding in the tariff to it. But when it comes to Trump just feel like put in any amount. Anybody that can afford it will afford it. Anybody that cannot. But the thing is, it will end up disturbing an average United States citizen. It's just like what's going on in the country right now in Nigeria, right? Things just continue to skyrocket the price. They don't look at the consumers. Can the consumers afford this thing? Is this something that the consumers can afford? And that's why we have to try. That's why we are doing the whole cut down. Even things that are necessary, we don't get to buy them because we want to buy something that is probably more necessary than the others. So I just hope that Trump listened to the expert, because I mean that's why they are expert on this one. Do you get? Because I mean
Trump listened to some expert that gave him that. There are different experts on this table.
True,
that's just
true,
the truth.
True,
because
true.
During the debate yesterday, I was hearing Kamala saying that some experts said the economic decisions that Trump wants to make is wrong. Trump was now saying that he went to one financial school like that.
Of course,
everybody has different experts at this point.
But I mean, it just makes sense that before you put in a particular tariff or before you add in money to a particular goods, you have to look at the people that are going to buy it. Because it will not help the economy if they cannot even afford what you are increasing.
Just like Bill Gates advised Nigerian leadership to increase our tax to 10%, forgetting that we are already going down the drain of poverty. So you not say you want to increase from 7.5 to 10 means just point a virtual gun at the head of everybody and just kill them.
You're just indirectly saying that these people should not buy what you are selling. Because, I mean, why are you increasing the price of a particular product? If they cannot buy it, how will it not affect the economy?
Yeah, taxation system is quite...
I mean...
I am so surprised that the New York Times did not carry the debate yesterday. Yeah, I had a very interesting conversation with a friend yesterday, and we were like, no. But anyways, I can't wait. I think it's 56 days, the elections. I really cannot wait for, the outcome of it. All right, we'll take a break now. And when we return, we're continuing an important conversation that we started yesterday. So stay with us. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Yesterday, we had an important conversation concerning violence across genders. So we coined a topic around that conversation, which led us to the topic, agents of influence and violence against women. And due to the importance of this topic, we're continuing the discussion today, but we would be going in depth into the factors, the individuals and systems that play a role in perpetrating this issue. And by examining these influences, we help to better understand how they shape behaviors, attitude, and even policies surrounding violence against women. Our goal is to seek lasting solutions and bring more awareness to this urgent matter. As always, we invite you to join the conversation and share your insight on this matter. You can join the conversation by sending your comments on our social media platforms. On YouTube, we're currently live, and you can also call our numbers displayed on the screen now. All right, ladies, it's so beautiful that we're continuing this conversation. With the way it ended yesterday, I knew that we just had to revisit this again because I was speaking to, Wendy, and I told her that this is so prevalent in the society. And the funny thing is, it's not a Nigerian thing. So we were discussing a story yesterday, and I saw the story, I think last week or so, on CNN. There was this Paris, is it a divorce case? Not a divorce case, an abuse case. So this man actually drugs his wife, and this has been happening for years, not in Nigeria, in Paris.
Okay.
He drugged his wife. He continuously drugs her, and then she's unconscious. He rapes her and calls people to do so. Apart from that, there was some hidden facts that came up that he also had them on video, and he titled the video "Abuse." So, firstly, I just thought that this
Is
one.
that a movie?
It's
Because
not a
I've
movie.
seen it.
Yes, it is in movies, but this one is real life, live
It's a
and direct.
psychopath.
A psychopath, right? But it's prevalent that, violence against women is something that should be discussed. I mean, gender equality has entered into our goals, and we'll talk about it in years and years to come. We know that there are reforms that are coming up. We know that women are now very
Active.
assertive and bold, but it still feels like we're not probably doing something. And do you know where I want to start this from? I want to start challenging it from cultural norms. I feel like we should start challenging this from cultural norms. It's so surprising that even in developed nations and, with people that are supposed to be educated, there is this hidden cultural norm that we almost never get ourselves out of.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. No matter the education that you seem to have gotten, the exposure or, the light in that sense, in case you're spiritual, it seems like some cultural norms are so embedded. It almost wants to make me believe that culture and tradition is that strong and has this such great grip on people. So I want to discuss this. We're looking at agents of influence, and we know culture, tradition is one great agent of influence in our society. So how do these cultural norms contribute to violence against women? And we can start with exploring, some cultural norms that starting with Africa and beyond.
It starts from the home, which is the first means of communication for every child. When you're raising a female child, what do you say to her? When you're raising a male child, what do you say to her? What do you say to him? When it comes to the kitchen, what do you say to him? Have you planted something in him unconscious that has made him feel like the females are superior or the females are less than the male? So it starts from the family. If you as a mother, as your male child grows, you're making him feel like, okay, you're not supposed to come to the kitchen. You're supposed to be served. You are a king. You are a lord. You're supposed to stay in the sitting room while they bring food for you. Your sister will bring food for you. So when you get married someday, your wife will bring the food for you. It starts from there. And as time goes by, the type of friends he or she starts to roll with, okay, let's say E for now. He starts to roll with, oh, do you know that asking a girl out is bad? They don't like it when you ask them out. They don't like, ladies like it's toxic. There's some people, grown-up adults, like here. Oh, do you know that ladies don't like it easy? They like it toxic. They are repositioning your brain that, okay, as a guy, you shouldn't be so calm with a lady, slap her at times, shout on her at times, so that you can show your masculine power, so that she can be scared of you. That's the line. So men like it when their partner is so scared of them. I don't understand. This is a relationship. This is not a slave and a master type of thing. So it starts from school, then it proceeds to friends, it proceeds to your own mentality. How do you perceive life? What do you think? Do you feel like you and your female companions should be on the same level? Or you feel like as the man that you are, Jagaban of the family, the head, the lion, the lord, the king, she should be here. When you're coming, she should be fidgeting. Oh, that is coming. She'll be shaking. When you say one, she should say yes, sir. You don't want her to say anything. You don't want her to have opinion. When you say you want to eat rice, that's what you are eating. It starts from there. So you start to build yourself as an imaginary lord. You are an imaginary boss in your head. So when anybody now challenge you, you now feel like, why are you challenging me? I am supposed to be a man. If you drive on Lagos Road, if a lady should make any mistake, you say, she's a female. Now, husband buy the car for her. So she gets sugar daddy. You'll be hearing things like that. And maybe when you come down, you challenge the person, you lack respect. You are talking to a man anyhow. Who said I cannot talk to a man? Who said if a man does something wrong, I cannot address the issue with the man? So it starts with that issue, that mentality, that psychological thing. Some people cannot allow their partner to use in Yoruba, O for them, shoti gel. It means like we're on the same level. They would like when you use shoti gel, wow, okay. Do you understand? So they are now suppressing that. They just want to feel like the boss everywhere they get to. They want to feel on top everywhere they get to. And it's a problem from their parents. I'm so sorry to say. They've told them that, Okorelada. I'm sorry, I'm trying to speak more. Yeah, because that's like what I can relate with. They start to make them feel like, as the man, no, you must command your respect. You don't earn it. Forget that you don't command respect, you earn respect. Up until now, all my siblings are grown up, but we still call ourselves name. They still call me Mira. They've been calling Mira since I was the SS1. And up until now, they still call me Mira. But do they disrespect me? No. You don't use Auntie Mira, Chewa Kema. No. But they still respect me. You can be 35, I can be 21, and I'll be calling you by your name, but I will still respect you. But if you want to force your respect on me, it means that I'm just respecting, but I'm waiting for the day you mess up, and I will lash out at you. So it starts from there.
What do you have to say, God's beauty?
Okay, so speaking to this whole violence against women and coming from the men, right? Like she already said, it comes from the home, right? Because, I mean, charity begins at home. So before any child exhibit a certain character that people now start finding out in the society, that child has already started exhibiting that character in the house, right? So let me come from the angle of, I think it's something that a lot of parents don't know about this, especially from the baby boomers and the rest of the generation as it comes. Now, there's what we call you knowing your children, you understanding your children. So honestly speaking, even when we had this topic, I didn't know that we were going to speak like to this we'll bring it to this particular place that I'm bringing it to, because I was watching a whole lot of confessions from people yesterday, and you need to listen to these people. They just, for everything they're confessing about, they kind of take it back to the house, right? So let's start from this. There's this one I heard, right? She was complaining, she was explaining that, okay, the person that she calls her grandfather is actually her father, right? Why her mother, like, so this is it here. Her grandfather impregnated her mother, which is the daughter of the man. Wow. I don't know if you exactly. That's sick. God bless you. Now, when she was talking about this whole thing, right now she feels suicidal. She wants to commit suicide. She feels lonely. There's nobody to trust. There's nobody to speak to, and all of these things. Now, how's your mother, right? My mom is, according to her, my mom is always drinking. Her mom doesn't, like the rest of this woman's siblings are doing well. They are okay. She's still in her father's house. Why would she not be in her father's house if when from initial, she's already, the woman already is, like, I don't even know the right word to use, but you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Because, I mean, this is, when she now started giving the breakdown, this is how she explained it, right? Then she said, according to her mom, this whole thing said when she was like a teenager, I think around 13, 14 years, right? Her mom was never around. Her mom comes in once in a while. So, I mean, the woman is always traveling and all of that, but her father is always around because he just does a normal 9 to 5 that allows him to come back home on time. Do you get what I'm saying? So instead of like that, probably the man was, wanted sex or something, then he started sleeping with the daughter at the age of 14. So now she started sleeping, they started sleeping and all of these things till the time when she got pregnant. I think she got pregnant at 17 or so.
For her father. For
her father. Now, the rest of the siblings, everybody was seeing her as an irresponsible person, so because sad. How would she explain that this is my father that is doing this to me? Do you understand what I'm saying? So she gave birth to the child. There's nothing she could do. Her father, even with all the other thing that he has done on her or do to her, right, he still insults her. He still compares her to her siblings. See your sister. See what they are doing. But the reason why this baby is doing this thing is because of you. Yeah. What am I saying? See, I understand that we've seen men to be a bit violent. I mean, the fact that this whole violence thing that's from the women is more from the men's angle than even from the women. Because, of course, we've had cases of, women that have raped men over the years. Or haven't you heard of stories like that? Yeah. But it happens. But just that, I mean, it's more from the men's side, like I said, more from the men's side than that of the women, right? Now, I understand, I understand this whole thing. Now, I will not take it back to women in general. It's important that you understand the children that you're training, right? Because 2-3 videos that I watched yesterday, we are actually just taking us back from like the women. One was saying that where she was staying, right? Her auntie student were molesting her, and now she cannot do anything if she has not had sex. If she cannot eat, she cannot sleep, she cannot do anything.
So
if
she
she has
became
not,
addicted.
She became addicted to it.
Wow.
Now, what brought about this thing? In her house, they were not financially stable, right? I think they had about 5 children, 8 children rather, 8 children. So the woman had to sent 5 to different locations. Not kept only 3 to herself, right? So she was one of those children that had to go and stay with someone. Now the person she was staying with is the children of that person that was, you know, that started the whole thing at the very tender age.
At that age? Like
They were not. But now, they were not. The person she was staying with she cannot even speak to the woman. Anytime she says, "Auntie, I want to tell you something," that one will say, "I'm too busy. I'm too this." You see, neglecting children it's something that will stay with them forever. Take it or leave it. So you see this whole violence thing that we keep talking about it's something that is growing as a result of you not listening to them. You even the most nonsense thing that they have to say, it's important that you bring your ears down to listen to what they have to say. Now, taking it to the father's angle, right? It's also important that, you see, if as a father, you don't show your children that fatherly love, they will look for it somewhere else. The girls will look for it somewhere else. You see this daddy issue that we keep talking about, people just see it from the surface level. I was watching a podcast on Monday, right, where this woman was complaining about how, you know, she slept with someone, right? She didn't even know what sex was about. And that's an issue because, I mean, in the previous generation, it's very hard. I don't know if they tie their mouth, but anything that has to do with sex, they don't want to talk about it. They're always shying away from it, right? So this lady, you know, they never talk about sex. So it was more like she don't know what it's about, right? She was still in school. There's this fine boy that she likes. You know, that one already knew what sex was about. So they did a bit of whatever, touching and all, and she got pregnant. Now, when she got pregnant, she brought it home. The father was like, you have disappointed me. You are irresponsible and all of those things. It kind of disowned her, right? And she now, I mean, that hardly even have fatherly love from the beginning. So she now felt like, okay, she's number one. I mean, she's half now. You know, when you are not pregnant and all, you feel complete that, you can meet any man. But now that she has a child, she feels like, okay, nobody will come to her. Nobody will come for her and all of that, right? And there was a statement the father made to her. And the father said, as you are like this, you cannot get married. You have shattered my dreams because I was planning to take you, you know, go for you, I mean, train you so that you finish, you travel outside the country and all of those things. Now that dream has been shattered. So she felt like she has, you know, I mean, she has, she now feels irresponsible too. She now feels that, okay, there's nothing she can do. So she was not doing everything possible to prove her father wrong. That her father, Daddy, don't worry, even though I have a child, even though I have a child, I'll still get married. Guess what? She did 15 abortions. According to her, why? Because she was trying to look for, you know, that man that will stay with her. She was trying to look for that man that she will bring home at the end of the day and tell her father that, that even though I have a child, right, I can still get married. So what am I saying? There are two things I brought out now from this. Now, you see, neglecting children is key. Once you don't listen to them, because like I said, even the most nonsense thing they have to say, right, it's important that you listen to them, because from every nonsense that they have to say, there's a sense coming out from it. Right. And no child will disturb you and say, Mommy, I want to tell you something, and it's not important. It is important to them. It might not be important to you, but it is important to them. Do you get what I'm saying? Because when you stop listening to them, when you neglect them, when you don't listen to what they have to say, all those things those important things that they feel like it's important to tell mommy, they'll probably start telling another person that will lead them astray. Or probably start bottling it in them. And that would now result to violence and all of those things, right? Now, the second one is fathers, right? You see, this, like I said, these women, if you don't give them fatherly love, right, they would actually look for you somewhere else, because this is something that it's a human thing. Yeah. We are bound on, we are keen on affection, love, and attention, and all of those things. So there's this thing I think I watched one time. I think it's I can't remember now, but I remember him saying something. He said, "You see, my daughter, right? No matter who will break her heart, she will not feel it. Why? Because I already give her everything that any man outside would give her." Right? Before you want to use shawarma to hold my daughter, I don't buy my daughter shawarma and pizza together. So it's important that you as a father, you are taking care of your children. It's important that you are listening to them. It's important that you're showing them that love, so that when they go out, they don't start looking for it anyhow.
All right, I want to take us back to why I asked that particular question in the first place. I was asking how to challenge cultural norms that have, you know, accommodated violence for women in many, many cases. And there's one major thing that we've not spoken about yet, and that is how women. Yesterday, the guest on the show, his major highlights of his statement was women are vulnerable. Women are vulnerable. The society have put women in a very
Vulnerable
vulnerable
state.
state, right? And something was, who made us this vulnerable? I remember how that argument went yesterday. So the thing is, women sometimes, let me not be very absolute, but there's this subjectiveness of silence that comes upon people who are meant to be women. And, their femininity should be seen in how calm, gentle, silent, soft that they are. But many times, it just depends on what is being brought towards you. If you know that you're already in an environment, a society that, I don't want to use the word not in your favor like as much, because that would be so direct. One major skill that you cannot even throw away is your assertiveness and communication. So you mentioned children being trained to what? And parents being
Neglecting their kids.
attentive in listening to their children. I think it's more about training children to be able to speak. Look at I watched one video on social media. I think you put it on Gossip Gala one time. I can't remember the whole content of it, but
Okay.
it felt like somebody was trying to, make women be silent in abusive
An
relationship.
old mother, right, saying, we're supposed to be helpers to our men. You ladies of nowadays, you're not even ready to marry. If your husband is cheating, we're supposed to help
him.
them. I said,
It's
"Mommy,
he says it's a sickness.
Exactly.
It's that one that off me.
I love
Exactly.
the comment section. You've raised your son the very wrong way."
So
Now,
there's this silence mode that women are supposed to get into so that it can prove that they are feminine. We'll have to take a short break now. We'll continue this conversation more in-depthly. Please stay with us. We'll be right back shortly. All right, welcome back. This is still Ways Breakfast. Today is Thursday, and on Thursday, the table is open for the ladies to discuss, trending topics that affects us all. And currently, we're talking about agents of influence in violence against women. We've given different case studies, to show and let us see how much of violence is actually pervading our society today. So I was talking before the break that, assertiveness, communication, speaking out, not in a disrespectful manner. Not because sometimes you feel, because the people have said some women are sharp-mouthed. So there's that tendency to tame her. You're a woman, don't talk like that. I think there can be that excesses. Of course, it's not about being sharp-mouthed. Because there's a way you are speaking and you're actually not making sense. But there's a way you will speak and you are addressing issues that concern you that is like a call for action. And that is what we're supposed to train ourselves on. So another agent I want us to look out for today. We've seen family, we've seen culture. Another one which is so key is media. And as people who are very involved in the media space, I mean, this is what we do. Media is supposed to be a tool of what? Education, a tool to inform, a tool to portray the ideal. Not just what's happening, but actually the ideal. And recently, I've had some growing concerns in watching some things I see going currently, especially in the movie industry, sometimes in the music industry. It seems as though, because I want to sell a narrative that everybody can easily relate to, you are now subtly pushing in the narrative of violence. Women are to be subjected to this. This is a woman thing. Women are always going to suffer. So I want us to now discuss, do you think media is doing enough to combat violence against women through its representation?
okay, so I grew up in a home where we are all females. Although we had a boy later on, but it was just one boy. And
I'm
my
sure you
father.
spelled the boy.
So I went to a school where it was all females, no male. So I think my life would have been around females at home, females in school. Fine, the only male figure I had was my dad and my brother. My brother was still very young. I mean, now he's a nurse. So he's still trying that female part, right? The thing is, I feel like I would have ended up being a shy lady. Oh, females, when I see guys, I should start shaking. Because in my secondary school, then, when a guy comes, maybe for entire sports, or maybe we're going to schools for debate, oh, we'll be shaking because we don't see guys in our schools. We're shining our bobo sandals. I don't know if you can remember. We're shining our bobo sandals. We're wearing our very sparkling white socks. I grew up to understand that Because there's so many things about my father that I loved. Yes, he's not perfect, but there's so many things about him that I loved. It took responsibility of us all. It dropped us at school. The fact that we attend the same school, we still give everybody their own fare. If you want to come home separately, please go ahead. I'm not saying because you all attend the same school, you must come home together. All that matters is come home at the right time. Don't worry, take your own fare. Come home by yourself. You have your own friends, I know. Play with your friends after school. Just come home. You two come home and all of that. Fast forward to when I started to meet men in the outer world. I understood, in my uni days, I understood that there are men that are badly raised. And there are men that they love the fact that they are badly raised and they are proud of it. There are men that they believe that as a female, you should be, the fact that I'm a male, you should be scared of me. The fact that I'm a male, when I say one, you should keep quiet. There are some men that are like that. I understood that. I kept quiet. I was growing. When I left school, when I got into the labor market, I saw some terribly raised men. I mean, not bad nights. I was not in a terrible state. And some people love the fact that they are terribly raised and they themselves, they are growing that terrible state of thinking. People, especially the male folks, there's this mentality that goes on in their head. As a baby, why would you say you don't want to have kids? Why did you not give birth to you? You should come to life and get married to a man and cook for a morning, afternoon, night and open your leg every time he wants you to open your leg and have kids. They feel like that's how your life should go. Forgetting that things have changed. Our parents, I had a one-on-one conversation with my mom the last time she came around and she told me some things and I wish I could correct her. Like, why did you do this? You knew this thing was wrong. You deserve a better life. She said she knows. But she was scared because of the home she came from. Her parents were rich. The person she wants to get married to wasn't too rich. She needed to do what her parents wanted. But she knew that it's wrong. She's not regretting it now. Okay, not regret, but I was pained when she opened up to me that, okay, she wished she did things better. So now that she knew that it was wrong, and now I'm in that state where I can make corrections. You will not tell me that as a woman, you're not supposed to make corrections now. They're supposed to just accept. When he say he wants pounded yam, just come downstairs and come and pound yam. When he say he's offensive, just come downstairs and come and make offensive. When it's time to open leg, just come and open leg. Don't complain. Are you not a woman again? Now, let's go back to media. In our own set, we cannot have a phone till like you're 18, maybe your first year in uni. I had my first phone, I think my first year, second semester in uni. Because I was using my dad's WhatsApp phone at that time to do school runnings, early first semester days. We only had a family phone too. Okay, but now, a child from 2, 3, 4 months has a phone or baby. True. In church, you'll be seeing all these children. Auntie, please give me your phone. They know where YouTube is. Yeah. They are going straight to YouTube. They are typing Kiniko cartoon. Yes, we cannot curb them. But what we can do as parents is, I do not believe in you should not be strict with parents. Because I know if our parents were not strict with most of us, would have been bad people. So I agree and I believe that as a parent, you need to be strict with your parent, with your children. You don't have to hold them too tight, but you also do not have to let them loose. But I feel like you need to hold them tight. You need to squeeze their neck. So when you squeeze their neck, when they go to universities, it will keep them in check. We all went to universities. What kept you safe in uni? The trainings you had from your parents, the left-hand slap, the throwing of broom, the throwing of turning stick.
So I want us to go back to the question that I asked. Do you think media is playing its role, the role it ought to play in combating this violence against women?
The media is not doing well because we can only curb Nigerian movies with the censors board. But we cannot curb American movies.
The Nigerian movies you are talking of, do you know that, I don't want to put this out like this, but some of them are already patterning their movies and, storylines in the way some American movies, Hollywood movies look like.
But to be honest, Nigerian movies are trying their best when it comes to storyline. I think these days we now see stories of heroes. No longer story of man and woman. We now see stories of heroes. Lisa B, Fumila Ransom Kuti, Wale Soyinka. We now see stories of heroes. We no longer see. Did we all watch the movie Forbidden Fruit? This Ghana movie. I saw the movie when I was very, very young. Forbidden Fruit. I can never forget. It's a Ghana movie. Ramsey Noah also. It's a Ghanaian movie. Old-time Ghanaian movie. So if they can do Forbidden Fruit at that time, but now they don't got the movies like that. All this has been censored. The most you will see is kissing. And they'll cut it off. Maybe the next day you see them without clothes on, but with the upper body.
That series is not going on Netflix, or?
Netflix movie now has a way of putting queer, and I don't understand why they are putting. But then that's story for another day. But you cannot control American movies because it's not. It will find its way to enter Nigeria if it does not come in through Netflix. You come in through all these www.something.com, www.telegram, this. So the only thing we can now do is maybe our censors board should send letter to them that whatever movies you intend to make it a worldwide movies, try as much as possible to maybe, I don't know, maybe put 18 plus, put 16 plus, or maybe restrict it or something. Something should be done from our own movie censor board to their own movie censor board because you cannot correct it. So they will watch these movies. So maybe by doing that, things can get better because the media cannot stop the media.
What do you have to say?
Get ready with me. That starts with bedroom.
Lady Vibe, what do you have to say?
So, to be honest, yeah, I think media, they're actually trying their best because, I mean, look at it from this angle. The media we're talking of all of us here, are the society, actually. Do you get? Yeah, because it's each and every one of us that are actually in that media space. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think it's the society at large. But honestly, when it comes to this violence thing, it starts from the house. That's the truth. From the house? The least we can do is, it's not if you are trained properly that you not come on media to come and train other people better. So everything starts from the house. Do you get what I'm saying?
Inside that board? Why is that? I'm not like this. When I see our videos, why am I swiping with anger? Like, oh gosh.
Wow, that's so direct.
That's so direct.
That's too direct. Okay.
But what I wanted to say is, I understand this whole thing you said, right? Censoring and all of these things. Of course, it will work. But I feel like most people don't really understand what a movie should be like. Like, when you talk about movies or films, right? I feel like this thing in general is a particular story that needs to be told. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're saying we should censor some things. It's more like don't say the story at all. So I really don't know how we can actually, balance that, to be honest. I feel like that needs to be balanced. Because if you're saying you should be censor everything, then there's no need of telling that story now. That's what it means. There's no need of having a movie, of putting out a movie in the first place. Do you get? If you're saying take away this particular place, this place they are fighting, don't put it. Oh, this history part, remove it. Oh, this one, this sex part, don't put it there. That is what actually make up that story. So why am I removing some things out of the story?
You know what's shocking me right now is that before our concerns used to be on more of immoral sins and your parents to say, go inside, don't watch that.
Hey, that's how it should be.
But now, what's scary is we've been reading the newspaper from last week. We've heard of stories of people that are violent. I just even read one this morning. I don't know where I read it from. That a 16-year-old or one teenager stabbed her friend.
Oh, Father Lord.
I used to think, how did you get to that state that you would take knife? How did you know this knife? How did you know where it will pass to, how it will cause the harm? It shows that some of these things, it's so strange to begin to figure out how it just came about. It's so strange. Violence just seems to be pervading. The default setting of people now is cause harm, kill, destroy. Like, I didn't used to hear this. Yes,
this person will not stand
because
up again,
if that is your own conscience speaking, but some people's conscience have been seared. So I mean, maybe they feel because you've seen a lot of movies where they're shooting, a lot of guns, a lot of fighting, it's just okay to take this and show somebody pepper in that sense that is making me angry. All right, back to that story I was saying because
it goes back to the family. Some children are aggressive naturally. I've seen a couple videos online where, mommy, now you're trying pillow in whose house? You're going to Ondo the following day.
Because that's their way of doing things.
So it starts from there. When you notice that this child has the tendency to either be bossy or maybe be aggressive, you start to correct the child. If you don't do the slapping Nigerian method, you don't do the fist throwing Nigerian method, you correct the child. You are supposed to be like this. You're not supposed to be like this. Not to talk down on people with disabilities, but notice that people with disabilities oftentimes have anger issues.
well,
not to talk down, they put like cerebral palsy or something.
There's a psychological thing to some people that have,
Okay,
that's like it's a very sensitive area.
But normal children, no issues, no impairments. People that have issues, there are some children that they like to be the boss. Why is she the first? I'm supposed to be the first. You have to tell them that it is normal to fail in life. It is normal, be competitive, but the moment you start feeling like you should be the one, you're already starting to turn to a witch. Let them know. When your child comes and say, that girl is talking to me, and you as the father, you are saying, you are a boy. correct her, put her in her place, you're already making things worse. So children have their own behavior. Let's even remove movie apart, social media apart. Some children have their own bossy behavior, aggressive behavior, but start to correct them as they start to emulate that thing. Correct them, if possible, take them for therapy. I mean, maybe our grandparents' house, which is like the
when
best
you say
place.
children have their own behavior, psychologists will tell you that a child behavior is by nature or nurture. That means whatever behavior you see in a child,
Yes,
you can
seen
trace where
it.
it's coming from.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
either inherent from the parents, so those parents have
Nothing happens
violent
without a
issues,
reason
or
now.
it's nurture. He has been seeing it in the environment.
Definitely.
So if you are saying correct the children, I think it starts with the parents
Yes,
checking themselves,
yes.
checking what happens in the household. Now let's just look at a more collaborative way of combating violence as we begin to wrap up the show. This should be just our conclusive conversation. That story I told you earlier, the Paris story where the man would call people. That story is so sad. It's so
very
sad.
sad.
I'm wondering why they are still doing hearings. When court of law, what are you hearing again? You are the
Just
law
put the
person here.
person in prison.
Please. So I was saying something yesterday
What?
that some very rigorous repercussion in those days should be revisited. When you put somebody under the grave and
Bury
call
them alive.
mosquitoes.
Come and eat them up.
At this point,
Castrate them, remove their
that
first
story is psychopathic, is wrong,
Yeah.
is demonic in every sense of it. That's the picture displayed there. So, some background stories and facts already said that when the man is outsourcing, now he's outsourced so because it's like business.
Yeah.
He's outsourcing men that will come to commit the heinous crime. Some of these men would say no. My own question is, you said no.
Why didn't you report
What
him?
else did you now do afterwards? So it seems like sometimes, my friend used to say something that, we like to talk about issues, the problem, the general problem. But when you cannot solve things beyond your control, the one in your control that you can handle, at least that man that would have said, no, you cannot generally combat violence in the whole world. But there is one in your control at that point. What did you do about it? So let's look at the more collaborative effort, looking at the men now, because this is a discussion for women. The women are the ones that are sometimes majorly disadvantaged.
Yeah.
So what collaborative effort can men put together to ensure that their sisters, their partners, their friends are kept safe?
I'll keep it simple. Like I mentioned yesterday, we should look out for ourselves. As a man, when you notice your friend has violence tendencies, your friend say some things that a normal person should not say, shun him, correct him. And if he refuses to be corrected, cut him off.
Straight.
Cut him off. Don't say bro code. Brothers does not leave brothers. Cut him off. If he believes in beating his girlfriend, if he has thoughts that on his girlfriend, in your presence, no, this. Correct him. You tell him, what if it's your junior sister? Or what if it's my own junior sister? And if he refuses to eat a correction, cut him off. If we start to take responsibility for ourselves, when I notice that you do something to me and this is a gutter behavior, no, please, God, just do your
But
thing.
that
I cut
cutting
someone off recently because this person was disgusting. This person is I'm so sorry, but this person is a walking gutter. I'm so sorry, but this person is a
What
walking
did this person
gutter.
do to you?
she'll
Terrible
tell us
things.
in camera.
Off
Off camera.
Cut the person off. Yes, you are meeting with other people, but I feel like when other people start to notice that behavior, let them cut you. So when you start to feel lonely, you will now realize that, okay, what if, because this person told me that they've told him Portuguese toxic. What if I'm actually very toxic? Maybe there's an atom of 1% truth. Okay, maybe it's even 0.1% truth. When you start to cut people off, then you start to think, okay, maybe it's actually true, and then you want to sit up.
But do you think the immediate cutting off is going to combat violence? Let me give you a case study.
Oh, yeah, no.
You have, there are two male friends, right? And then one of them has a girlfriend. The one that has a girlfriend is always beating the girlfriend, causing abuse, and the other male friend is saying that with the first notion or the first call of action be to cut off.
Maybe a few punches.
Of course, they
Of course, them a taste of their own poison.
if it's a
Maybe
guy,
few
if
punches,
it's a guy
maybe rent
that
a Gbadugo to beat him up, so you can feel it.
if it's a guy that is very emotional, of course they would fight for sure. But I mean, why are women still in those kind of relationships?
Some goes back to family. Some ladies are scared of being alone.
Baby, come to me.
Savior of the world.
Goes back with accepting and taking in the femininity that I'm not supposed to. I mean, they are training me. Maybe my own mouth too is sharp.
It's not his fault. I made him angry.
So do you think that cutting off is the first thing? I'm trying to. There's an answer I'm waiting for.
See, even if you take him to the police station, he can
station.
always be bailed out. Except you want to take him to court, and that is you spending money. Do you have the
mediation
money?
court is free, actually.
Do you have the money? If it's free.
Yeah, there's a mediation court at Ikeda.
Beautiful. Even bail is free. If you
bail is
understand
not
what I
free.
just said now. Even bail is free, so don't worry.
What do you mean by bail is free? I think I'm lost here.
Don't worry.
You didn't get it.
I think I'm lost here.
Nah, in the police station, they will tell you that bail is free.
But you
Police
look
is
for
your
small
friend. But you
50K.
have to gonna pay. Even if, exactly, you look for small 50K. And even if you want to prove that you are right, because even in the Constitution, actually, bail is free, right? So if you want to prove that you are right, and go and carry lawyer, and the lawyer go and fight for you, and you bail the person out without being paid, you pay the lawyer, yes or no? So money has gone one way or the other.
But life
so
will be
you
saved.
choose one. Whether you
life
pay
will
the
be
police,
saved.
life will be saved. How?
Oh, you do not know the extent to which abuse can become too terrible.
Sweetheart, life will be saved, yeah? So, like I said, it's either he go to jail or whatever. That girl in question, what if she has now become used to it?
Used to beating.
Used
As a
to
grown-up
beating.
adult.
This is some other angle. This is some other angle.
Yeah.
However,
Haven't you heard that abusers get used to being abused?
Yes.
Come on now.
that's a wrong conditioning.
It goes back to the family. Were you loved at home? I used to tell people, I am loved in my
Emphasis
house.
on
I
the-
am
on the
loved
you
by
loved
my
at home.
mother. I am loved by my father. I am loved by my siblings. I am loved by my immediate friends.
And you're loved by me.
I am loved by you.
You love
Thank you.
me too.
So when there's this one person that is not showing, that has atom of hatred in him, we obviously cannot work. Right? So some people are scared of being alone. Some are scared of...
Yeah.
Ladies that follow sugar daddies, you be here and it's because of the money. It's because of the... You be listening to silly excuses that you have normal, to be like, okay, but I feel like this thing is just something you can wave. So it goes back to the family. It goes back to daddy issues. They are looking for a daddy figure. They're looking for a
Daddy
support
issues is
system.
actually a big
It's
thing.
a big thing.
And it's annoying that a lot of people don't know about it.
True.
Because when we were watching that podcast that day, people that are around me, they're like, nah, in just they lie. This one say, I wish one be daddy issues. They even made it a big deal. Like, God's reason, they talk that thing. But honestly, if you understand what daddy issues is, you know that it's actually a big thing.
All right, this is where we draw the curtains for today's show. And if there's something we want you to take home with today, if you're already in your house, is combating violence is a collaborative effort of, it's not just one agent of influence that is concerned now, but everybody, the family, the society, men themselves, different cultural norms, we all have to come together, the women themselves, to collaboratively combat violence and have a safe environment for women. This is where we draw the show. This is where we come to a close for today's show. Till tomorrow again, join us 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is Ways Breakfast. See you tomorrow.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Osayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?